First, let me clean myself off. I don't have a person here, a wardrobe person, so I've got lint. How embarrassing that would be to be talking and have lint on me. Yes, go.
She was known as the girl next door. But the girl next door had a secret. Ellen DeGeneres grew up to make history as the first gay lead in an American sitcom. This is the real Ellen story, about a television event not measured by ratings, but by one woman's desire to tell the truth.
Ellen DeGeneres made her first strike at controversy by writing some clues that
has saturated the media. Magazine pubs, news shows.
To the 1% of the American population who call themselves homosexuals.
I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion on anything other than to say that I'm fine with who I am now. And for a long time, I wasn't. I was in therapy at the time when I got in touch with my feelings and my pain, which I hadn't been my entire life. I started realizing what a huge source of pain that was for me, to constantly worry about being truthful. I finally decided I would come out, and it just made sense for the character to come out at the same time.
We first heard that she wanted her character to come out at that party in June.
She had a party.
She had a little party before we even started writing.
So she invited all the writers and the producers to her house.
Which in and of itself was an event, because she was very private and she had had security problems before, so even where exactly she was living was not known information.
We all sort of like gathered around, and she says, I think this year I'm going to be coming out. I want the character to come out. We were so excited.
We were so excited to have something to really write.
It was a horrible show to write for, because you had to reinvent the show every week.
Coming up with story after story about her foot getting caught in the bucket, which is really because she wasn't dating, and also she wasn't someone who was passionate about her job. And so it was just a very hard show to write for. Sometimes, you know, 2 in the morning, you'd be saying, why doesn't she just come out?
It'd be a lot easier, right?
Probably a few of us thought this will never happen in a million years, but this is a fun party, and it's a great idea, and the studio will quickly say no.
But it was very clear that nobody could tell anybody, which was here with this room full of people. By the way, there must have been 25, 30 people there, and she's telling us, you know, nobody can tell anybody.
The next step was then to tell Disney and ABC what I wanted to do and see if they'd go for it. There were many meetings that were secret meetings, and nobody was supposed to know I was talking to anybody.
And at that first meeting at Disney, she started telling them that she wanted to do this, and up until this point it was all very jokey and fun, and she started to cry.
To be 37 years old and be feeling this sense of shame and that nobody would like me if they found out that I was gay, it's a pretty emotional thing to you know, to expose yourself to.
When she was finished, she would cry. I mean, she cries easily. You wouldn't think she does, but she does.
I don't know if it helped any. I don't think that those people are warm and fuzzy and go, oh, she's crying, and let's let her do it, you know?
I don't want everybody to think business is this easy.
Michael Eisner's conditions were that it had to be a really great episode, that we weren't simply doing it for the, you know, for the sake of somebody coming out of the closet and getting the press and getting ABC a number. And he said, the other thing I'm worried about is, like, you know, this, if she does this, then this just becomes a show, every episode becomes a show about, you know, lesbianism. And said, I don't know that the broad American public wants to watch a weekly episode of a show about lesbianism. And I said, no, you know, that's not what we want to make the show about. That's not what Ellen has said.
I walked into a room, and there was a large board, like a bulletin board, and they had laid out the whole season. And there was an arc that said, puppy. And I thought, oh, that's nice. Ellen's going to get a puppy this season. I thought that was really nice.
Somebody suggested, one of the executives suggested that maybe Ellen should get a puppy in the coming season.
he said, we've got to get Ellen to care about somebody. We need to get her a boyfriend. And the people in the room said, well, you know, she's gay. And he said, well, then get her a girlfriend. And Michael Ovitz said, don't even think about it. He said, well, then get her a puppy.
Because people like puppies. And so maybe they'll warm up to the whole lesbian thing more if they know that Ellen had a puppy.
As a code word, we just started calling it the puppy episode. And when it came down to actually giving it a name, we just said, well, that's what we've been calling it, so let's call it that.
Well, also it seemed like, you know, you could put that up on the board. You could just say the puppy. Ellen gets a puppy instead of Ellen announces she's gay.
Somebody leaked it. I don't know who, and nobody will admit that they did it. When it leaked out, then everybody went crazy with it.
Television history as we know it could be in for a change.
Plenty of comment from all across the country
character
about
may come out as a lesbian.
The accused Disney got really upset with us, and it was like a witch hunt.
The network has a policy not to comment on rumors and speculation, which is a good policy because until the script was written and approved, it would have been foolish to acknowledge, yes, this is going to happen.
I was answering the phone and basically saying, hello, we don't comment on rumors or speculation, hello. So there was nothing we could say. We could not say anything, and it was maddening, and it went on for months and months.
When major American corporations such as Disney sponsor Ellen, the lesbian coming out on ABC, they are caving in to the 1% of the American population who call themselves homosexuals. I applaud the Southern Baptists for their boycott of Disney, and I joined them in that boycott.
The hour had come, the day had come, the time had come for the media, at least ABC, and those folks to cave into the pressure, those that were not homosexual themselves, to cave into the pressure, say, okay, we're going to portray this nice, sweet girl as a nice lesbian. This is how we're going to do it. She's an attractive woman. You know, if she hadn't told you she was lesbian, you'd say she could be in a Miss America contest. Well, I talked to some of my friends to see what we would be doing together. Basically, we supported the boycott of the show and the boycott of the products.
If you have Disney stock, sell it. If you see a Mickey Mouse shirt, pass it up and buy a t-shirt that's something else. If they can't hear from us on this, they'll never hear from us. And if we can't stand up on this, the church is over.
These letters came, and they kept coming and coming. It was just your worst nightmare. Of all the letters I got, the thing that affected me the most was one that was written by this couple. We know God hates homosexuality because of what the Bible says in Genesis 19:24 about Sodom and Gomorrah. He utterly destroyed it. Since Disney has, quote, raised itself up against the knowledge of God, unquote, 2 Corinthians 10:5, we are returning all of the Disney merchandise we own and will boycott you until you line up with God. They literally ripped this doll of the devil out of the hands of their 4-year-old son and sent it back to the studio, declaring that we were all going to burn in hell.
As her brother, I think one of my first reactions was for her safety. It's a big, cruel world out there, and there are a lot of people who just don't want to see anybody rock the boat.
I immediately got my phone number unlisted. You know, I thought there are crazy people out there who knew if I was, partially responsible for this script would just as soon kill me as see this script on the air.
Quiet, please. Here we go. And action.
Well, the very first show we did, we had me going into the bathroom and I was singing that song, I feel pretty, oh so pretty, I feel pretty and witty, and the next word is gay, obviously. And right when I got to that word, I feel pretty and witty and hey, and I did that to, when the water didn't come out. That was the first show, and that was our first clue. There was another show where I was hiding in the closet and everybody was looking for me, and I opened the closet and said I was in the closet. You know, there were just little tiny things like that.
We wanted to arc the entire season so it had some validity. You know, it didn't just get plopped out there. People saw it coming.
We had all these ideas that every single time there was any reference to me being a lesbian, we were going to have some bell going off, whether we were making cookies and I'm watching TV and I go, I love golf. Ding!
And then we thought, oh God, we're dropping so many hits. All you're going to hear is dings.